It's time for Veterans Issues, the show that brings you information about veterans, military, and their family. Now here's your host, Ken Rollins.
Welcome to Veterans Issues. Ken Rollins here. Today I got everybody from the VA hospital in Birmingham. Come back, I want to introduce them to you. Stay where you are, get a pen. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Today I got folks here from Birmingham VA. I told you they'll be coming in here, so I got the director, Thomas Smith. I got the public affairs director, Jeff Hester, and I got my favorite person, Geneva Robinson. Welcome, Jeff. Thomas,
Yeah,
good to see you. And my buddy. Before we get into anything, before we get started, y'all don't know what I'm going to do, but I want to do something right here before we go any further. If I can get the control room to pull this up, I want to, nobody knows I was going to do that. Y'all didn't know I was going to do this, did you?
No, sir.
Nope.
Well, the control room's got this up here, and this is a, there it is. You can read it for yourself. Geneva, this is from the Vietnam Veterans of America, recognized as Geneva Robinson. Thank you for your decades of selfless service to the Vietnam Veterans of Alabama, Chapter 502. Ken Rollins, President, and Mr. Matt Pepe is the Secretary Treasurer. I want to get that started, let you know how much we love you. We're glad you come down here today, so I'll start the show off of that.
Thank you.
No, thank you. So nobody else has ever received that, so I'm gonna put that there so you can stare at it and let it know
Okay,
that you're loved.
I will.
And I want you to hang it on the wall, and when people come over there to see you in Birmingham, they'll see that.
I will. I'll hang this one on the wall since
want
I've
that.
only been
Y'all
here
let me know if she
46
don't,
years.
okay?
We will
But I know
definitely
she will. But we're going to talk to Geneva here in just a minute, but she's a veterans advocate for the Birmingham VA, and she's helped so many of our veterans. I wanted to do that to get started with. Mr. Smith, we got a new director, a new secretary of the VA, and he's got a lot of new things. I watched him on TV yesterday, but can you tell us some of the things that he's bringing to the table as he comes aboard?
Absolutely. Dr. David Shulkin is our new Secretary of the VA, as appointed by the President. He's been on board now for a few months, and I'll tell you, I'm excited that he is on board. He brings with him, as the former Undersecretary for Health at the VA, he brings with him an understanding of the VA, and he also brings with him an understanding of community care, because he was a CEO of several hospitals, healthcare systems for the last many years. And I think that those are two things that the VA needs right now, an understanding of the VA and how we're going to partner with the communities to provide total care to our veterans, which is so very, very critical for us right now.
Well, I think what you said there is, it goes over real fast. It's like saying $100,000 real fast. It don't sound like much, but what you did say, he was the undersecretary. This wasn't his first rodeo when he knew something about the VA before the president appointed
Absolutely.
him. So, and that's key to being able to do anything with the VA is understanding the VA.
And he understands what the issues are with the VA and what the issues are for the veterans. And he's made that clear in his priorities, some of which are, of course, continuing improvement of access and timeliness of care for veterans, but also improving our infrastructure and also making sure that our veterans have quality care and that they have a choice, which is the choice program that everyone is familiar with, but which is now undergoing kind of evolutions under his watch. And we're hoping that that's going to continue to improve, provide even better care. But one of the most important things that is his priority is suicide prevention. He's so very, very strong on this point, and he's rounding us up to pay the utmost attention to suicide prevention among our veterans.
22 a day.
Over 20 veterans a day commit suicide, and that is a tragedy. It is totally unacceptable for us. But Ken, one of the other statistics is that of those over 20 veterans, 14 of them have not accessed the VA, which is their benefit, their right, the services that we provide. They haven't accessed our wonderful and excellent mental health care services, and we've got to get the word out. And I think that's where your listeners, your watchers can help us with that.
Spouses out there, the spouses of those who are serving active duty right now, need to make sure that when they transition from military, that the next step is to get enrolled in the health care.
Absolutely.
Even if they don't have a disability, but to get enrolled in it. And see, that's where there's a short circuit in the military, they're not really worried about them too much after they get out of the military, if you understand what I'm saying. And so the veterans got to do a lot, the military has to do a lot on their own, get their own records, keep their own records, and if they got an injury, I always tell them, if you hurt yourself, a knee or anything else while you was in the military, keep your records so that when you get out, and if there's a problem later, you don't have to start from scratch. Here I got it. Jeff, we'll go to you next. What's the latest thing with you over there?
Well, we're like
I'm
you're
gonna throw you
saying,
on
and
the
Mr.
spot.
Smith
That's
saying,
called
we're
putting
trying.
a curve on there. What I did.
That's okay. We're trying to get the word out. So we do have a Veterans Town Hall meeting June the 16th of this month. That's going to be up in our Huntsville clinic up in northern Alabama, and that will be at 10 o'clock that morning.
The 16th?
The 16th of June. We usually have a very good turnout of 100 plus, great support up that way. But we need individuals to come there to get information and to ask us questions to get it back out to those individuals out in the community to make sure they're understanding the services that we offer and that are available to them.
Yeah.
And also for those post 9/11 veterans coming back, we've got a big welcome home event that we're doing at Oak Mountain July the 1st. So we'll be having a lot of service organizations, eligibility, all kind of groups coming together to feed lunch from 10 to 2 for post 9/11 veterans and their families. Really want them to come out to know what we have to offer for them, get them into the VA, get their care started. It's a benefit that they're entitled to, they deserve, and we want to make sure that we're able to give it to them.
That's the thing you need to get across to them. This is not welfare. If they got a benefit from the VA, they've already they've already paid for it. It's like you go buy some groceries and leave them laying on the counter. You already paid your fee. So, and we ain't got too much left in this segment right here. So good to see you there. No. we run a lot. I don't know how much time we got left, but I wanted to get around to you before we go into the next segment. But let people know that in the 60s, I first met you. I won't say how far back to 50. Wow, that's old, ain't it? How long you been over there?
46 years.
Is that all? You just a rookie.
I love it.
I know you do, but that's gonna bring me that. There's no job description that I've ever seen. I work for the federal government. I've never seen a job description that says you must have a big heart.
No, that's not
Compassion.
one. You have to be born with it.
Yeah.
You have to love people. You have to treat
How can
veterans.
you love veterans?
Oh, love
They
them.
mean.
Yeah, no, they're not.
They're trouble.
No, they're not. We
I
argue, but we
was.
make up. We make up. No, I love my veterans, and that is one of the reasons I have not retired.
Is that right?
I'm wondering who would take my place. 46 years. I mean, I love them all. They can come to my office, and they're arguing, but when they leave, we've made up.
Yeah, we was
made
talking
up.
off camera about the other guy's name is on this thing about Matt Pepe. Matt and I were talking about you yesterday behind your back, and that man loves you. He's just one of other thousands that we could say that.
That's right.
That I think if you go through this world and you do something and you can leave with that kind of a legacy, that
And I feel it makes me feel great when a veteran come back and say, "Do you remember years ago when I needed this and you was able to help me accomplish it?"
Yeah.
It makes me feel so good.
well, that gets down to the information part. That somebody be in the VA and in the VA hospital and just not know how the system works, and find somebody like you that you didn't really pull any strings. You just told them to go to the next step, and they're
That's
sitting
right.
there all frustrated when you were. We're gonna run out of time in this, so let's go to
Okay.
break. We got to pay the bills, and then we do
Okay.
that. We're gonna come back. We're gonna
Okay.
talk more. We got to go this break. Come back. We'll be more with all three of them. Be right back. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Ken Rollins, and we're still talking with the folks from the Birmingham VA. We got the director here, Public Affairs, and everybody at Geneva. And we were talking Geneva Robinson earlier. We were talking about caring for veterans and stuff. And buddy, I want to tell you something. When I leave this world, if people think of me the way they do you, Geneva, that's pretty good, And I always have it. I have the saying that God's going to ask us, what did you do while you was down there? And you say, I had me a nice home. No, but what did you do? Did you do anything? Did you change it? And what you do is not in your job description, so you're going above and beyond.
Yes.
And for that, on behalf of all of our veterans out there, I personally thank you so much. So in case I didn't get to say that, but
Okay.
this we're talking about the hotline, the suicide thing. Now, this director did start a new hotline, and I called it the other day. It's not just for suicide; it's for all kind of veterans information.
This is the White House line for the veterans. It was something
Yeah.
that President Trump promised he was going to do, and Dr. Shulkin has implemented that. And in fact, we're already getting information, questions, queries, requests for response from this line. We've gotten several just this week, and it just stood up last week, as I remember.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give them the numbers, so y'all get your pen. Here we go with the number. It's of course 1-855-948-2311. And call that number. It's 855-948-2311. And it does work. I called just to see
Absolutely.
what I'd get. I didn't have any problems or anything, but I just want to see before I come here and start talking about it that it does work. And that's a good thing, because being able to get answers to your questions solves a lot of problems.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's not a doctor prescribing you something, but when you're frustrated, Geneva, would you say that that's a need to be diagnosed?
That's right.
Right on here, patient frustrated.
That's right.
That'd be a good diagnosis. The improvement in services was one of the things I heard this Dr. Shulman talking about. Is it, what is he talking about there? Is it just overall, or is it?
Well, it is overall, but it's mostly in our infrastructure is one thing, our information technology, IT, better phone systems, better computer systems, so our veterans can, it's all about the access, so our veterans can access our systems better. But it's also improvement in the quality of our services, and I mentioned earlier about access and timeliness of services and getting our veterans in better, taking care of them. He has also said that he wants to improve our human resources capabilities, bringing people on in a faster manner so we can get those physicians, those nurses, those support staff on board sooner, and also holding those people accountable. You know, that's been a big issue for the VA for the last 2 or 3 years, and he's right in line with that, wants to make sure that we're taking care of our veterans, giving the best services that we can, and that our employees are held accountable for that.
Well, timeliness of service is like, don't go to the VA today expecting to get an appointment for tomorrow. Timeliness is a responsibility of the veteran too, to go ahead and you say, well, I was on a waiting list, but why did you wait to the last minute to make that appointment? That's my point. Now back to what he was talking about, the secretary. I heard him talking about the IT situation where he's going to marry the Department of Defense, and I thought, why didn't they do that before? I mean, the Department of Defense has got top-notch security and all those things. It's already built in. I mean, not to say you couldn't get in there, but I'm saying that's already built into your system. Now they're going to marry the two of them, the VA and the DA, together.
Yeah, and what the Secretary was talking about in his press conference yesterday, in his announcement, he had made the promise that he was going to make a decision about the electronic health record for the VA because it was in need of improvement. It's been one of the best for many decades, but it was in need to be improved. And we've struggled for many decades also with, as you say, marrying it up with the DOD, Department of Defense electronic health record. Well, he's going to do that now. He's going to use the DOD platform, and now veterans, or actually military people, will have the same medical record from the moment they enter the military until the day they die. All the way through the military and the VA. So they'll be able to talk to each other, and it'll be just one continuous record their entire lives.
Either one, Jeff or Geneva, either one on this. One of the things I've noticed is, our veterans, our military serving today, let's just use a 26-year-old male. He gets out, he's got a couple of kids, and he comes out and he tries to find a job. Now, there may be some fast food jobs out there, but to take care of that wife and kids, he becomes an anchor. He's holding them down. He can't provide for them. But in the veteran population out here outside the door, there's a belief that if I take myself out of the picture, my wife and kids will be better off. I've dealt with that so many times, that they figure they're a burden on the family because they can't provide. But the last job they had, what was your last job? As a paid killer. How many of them is available? You see what I'm saying? So we got to educate the people out here that's got these businesses and let them understand that these veterans are not a danger, because there's a lot of people out there that look at the word veteran and they see all this action on television and hear about those PTSD, and they're afraid of it. So we got to get across to them that I know some folks that had PTSD done a great job and retired after 20, 30 years in law enforcement and other jobs. So those are available. What do we need to tell the veterans out there? Jeff, this comes to you. If you got a veteran out there that's just got a military person becomes a veteran, they come out, what's the first thing they need to do for is, I know we talked about getting enrolled, but what do they do physically to get enrolled?
Well, I mean, they can get with the VA and we can help them get educational benefits, either the hospital, the clinic. Okay. We can get them educational benefits. We've been working with a lot of community organizations in Birmingham to work with veterans on job training. And there are several working in electrician, brick masonry, several different jobs that veterans that even did this while they were in the military can come back and pick up a job 6 to 8 weeks with specific training just for those specific jobs. And if they want another higher level degree, we can send them to school on the GI Bill, help them with their home, or whatever those benefits are. Veterans have so many benefits. When they come back now, all they do is have to ask and inquire, and then we can help them walk down that path together.
Like going to Biloxi and leave the money laying on the table after you won, they got it there, they just won't come and get it.
Right.
Geneva, do you ever have any of the homeless veterans show up at your place?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
What do you do with them?
We refer them to the home. We have a homeless program at the VA.
At the VA itself?
They are referred to mental health.
Okay.
It's supervised under mental health.
Well, I know they had something, the DAV or somebody had 3 hots and three
hots
and a
cot,
or something like that.
And steps and traditions. They have ministries that they refer.
You can help them if they come in there.
I can help get them referred to the appropriate staff who handles it.
Yeah.
It's not handled under the patient advocates. It really is handled under mental health.
We're down to less than a minute, and we'll make sure to get anything on there. Thomas, anybody, if I've left off something, need to go ahead and bring it up. Give me the subject. If we've covered it all, that'd be fine too. But are y'all going to do something public service thing, just send out somebody to get this information out there better in the future? Are you going to be do anything like that going on CNN or?
Well, I don't know about CNN.
At some point we got to let the folks
I
know.
mentioned earlier about getting the word out, and that's going to be one of our largest focus, is getting the word out through outreach. We have an outreach coordinator, a team of people do outreach to veterans.
Well, we're running out of time. They told me
Okay.
to. I appreciate it. Give me that. What's this? You see how we do that? I love you, lady. I really
Thank
do.
you.
I
Same
appreciate
here.
you. And I'm speaking for thousands and thousands of veterans. You've got a fan
you.
club you just don't know about.
Thank you.
We got to go to a break. Come back. I got news that you can use. Stay right there. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. I appreciate all the folks coming down from Birmingham to do the show today, and especially with Geneva Robinson. She's a jewel. And over in Vietnam, we called our nurses the Angel of Mercy. I guess she's our angel, veterans angel, whatever. Give her a title on that, but we do appreciate her. And also our director and our public affairs. Jeff is like a co-host on here. We had a great Memorial Day ceremony. Secretary of State John Merrill did a great job on that, and very seldom I ever have a politician on there, but I don't consider him a politician. He's just a great guy, great friend, and everybody enjoyed that and the entire ceremony. We had about 350 people up there for that in the rain. But I want to remind you again about that hotline number, that 855-948-2311. Remember that number, 855-948-2311. That's if you've got a veteran that's facing trouble, or you got somebody that needs assistance in any manner whatsoever, that's the number you're going to call. And of course, we got the suicide hotline, but this line does a lot more than just that. I want to also alert you that we do have the funds available, that we're going to start building the firefighters memorial and probably before the end of the year, we should have it up there in the Centennial Memorial Park. And it'll list all the firefighters who have killed in the line of duty in the state of Alabama. It's the official firefighters memorial for the state, and signed off by both houses and the governor, and we will start building that. So if you see some construction up there, that's what we're going to be building, is just like the law enforcement memorial. We'll have the firefighter memorial on the other side of the park. If you got a wheelchair out there that you no longer need, that someone for whatever reason don't need it, still works, the battery is good. I got veterans that do need the wheelchairs. They're just not eligible for them through any kind of a program. So they ride up, what they do is they ride up and down the street and cause chaos. No, they ride up and down the street, they go to their mailbox, and they go down the street and talk to the neighbor. It's just too far to walk on a walker or a cane, but they can take the chairs, and you can go out in my neighborhood and you see wheelchairs all over the place, because we old folks out there. But if you got a wheelchair, a power chair that still works, give me a call. I'll come pick it up, get it to the veteran. Got 2 that need them right now, or in the vehicles of any sort. Now, if you know of a young veteran, and this is the reason I say young veteran, because the vehicle is for a younger veteran. Old veterans like me wouldn't look good in it, but if you know of a young veteran out there that's in trouble for transportation, give me a call, because I got somebody who can take care of that. And so give me a holler. It's got my information here on the screen right below my hand right here, just like vinyl white. See that? See that? And I want to remind you also, we need drivers for the DAV van that picks them up in Oxford in the morning. I think it's like 6:30, takes them to Birmingham, and then brings them back. As I said earlier off camera, we take 7 over, we bring 7 back. So if you would like to be one of those people that want to drive the van, give me a call, and I'll hook you up on it. I want to also remind you about what we didn't get to talk about, the choice card. Get you a choice card if you're a veteran, and you may be able not to have to drive over to Birmingham or whatever to get your needs met. But the choice card is a very important thing, and you can get that through the clinic, get that through the VA. You pay it forward. If you got a chance to pay it forward in the line, you're at the Dunkin' Donut, pay for the person behind you. You'll be blessed for it. We run out of time here, so I just want to make sure that this week we do the thing that I wanted to do. I always give a salute to somebody that's very special, or some group, and these salutes are very expensive. So if you get a salute this week, you're very, very special. So this week, this salute is going to go out to none other than Veterans Angel and Miss Geneva Robinson at Birmingham Advocates. Go in there, you're going to see her. We'll see you next week, Veterans Issues. Salute.